All right, guys, you probably just finished the prompt that asked you to describe your bedroom and the place that you sleep. Thinking about, again, the size and the amount of space that you have. And just by the way, most bedrooms are about 10 feet by 10 feet. And not only that, but the amount of stuff that you have, probably more importantly, who you share it with, the available bathrooms that some ways you have to share that as well here, and particularly the part about who you share it with. And those you guys who know, if you have to share a room with someone, man, everything feels much, much more compact. And so I want you to think about space and size. And we're actually going to do an activity now that deals with this. So you can go ahead and click and open up the assignment. This is Urbanization in the Industrial World. Go ahead and open up the Google Drawings that's listed here. So go ahead and spend the time going opening up the Google Drawings. We'll get to the Google Doc later on, but right now, go ahead and open up the Google Drawings. It should take you to something that looks like this here. So don't move anything just yet, but please do get to know the screen as well. We'll come back to this at times as well. But what we're going to do is we're going to do an activity, a simulation called building a burgeoning burge. Now, the term burge is another word for like a city or a town. A burgher is a town dweller. And you may have heard of particular cities like Johannesburg or Pittsburgh, right? The city of Pitt and so forth. So the burgeoning is the growth there. So we're going to do a little activity that is based on this here. And we're going to use the material that's there. Now, a few rules before we actually begin. Okay, one is this: once you've settled on a specific location for a particular item, you cannot move it. It's there unless the activity tells you to. It must remain there. And you can only remove an item if the activity states that you can. So listen to the instructions that I have here. Not only that, but you can't resize any of the images to make them larger or smaller. And lastly, here's this: if you have to view this on your own for one reason or another, you cannot fast forward, okay, or rewind or pause. Okay? The timing of this works as well here. If you're viewing as a class, obviously, we're just going to let it play out and see how it goes. So either way, let's go ahead and get started. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is to go ahead and create a name for your hometown, and do so in that top right hand corner right there. Okay. The top right hand corner of the Burgeoning Burge Google Drawing sheet. So right there in the top right, go ahead and figure out any town name that you would like. Name it after yourself. Name it after someone you find to be really important. Name it after whatever you want. Something that's funny. A classmate around you. It's up to you, but provide your own name. And as people are figuring that out, you want to sort of familiarize with some of the tools that is necessary to make this activity work. So as people are still trying to figure out a name, if you've got some time here, go and take a look at some of the tools that you might need to know for this activity. For instance, if you click up on top there, you've got this sort of a dot tool right up here. And if you click on that, there's a number of things that you'll probably end up using, including this line tool and then the scribble tool as well. And then you'll note that dotting along all across the image, you've got these little items here. So these are click and drag items. So all you just got to do is pull them and place them in the location as need be. Again, they're small little images. There should be plenty to work with. Just do not resize them in any ways. All right, let's go ahead and get started with this here. Okay, so with that, you're going to go ahead and there are a few small farms in your area in this little town here, and there's a few homes that are owned by a number of spinners and weavers who do what we call piecework for a number of clothing investors. So a lot of many towns, especially in winter times, there's actually not much to do, and so therefore they go about through what was called piecework. So as you're doing this, go ahead and add 5 small houses for what are known as these cottage industry homes. So what you want to be able to do is just simply click and drag. So if you've got a small home here, just click and just go ahead and drag that item wherever you would like. And so go ahead and keep on clicking as many as you need wherever you would like on that particular piece there. But as you're doing this, the spinner and weavers, again, many of these are oftentimes small farm holders, and during the winter time they actually don't have much to do, and it's not harvest season, it's not growing season, and so a lot of investors will decide like, hey, you know what, this is real important. We can actually use these people's labor. So what they would do is they would drop off material like cloth, and if they want people to go ahead and, say, for example, weave it together to make a larger item or a shirt or something like that, they would drop off all these little pieces, and then come back during spring, and they would actually pick it up from there. And they have that work done for them. So basically, they get paid by the piece, what are known as piecework. So it's these what we call cottage industry homes. Okay. Now, hey, for you personally, after spending a few years in the big city, attending the Grand College at Oxford, and not only that, but going to London and working as a runner in the stock exchange, you return back to that original hometown, and you decide, despite your youth, you are going to run for mayor. And even though you are inexperienced, you end up winning in a close election because they saw that you've got a mind for the future. And so, with that, go ahead and choose a fine house to go ahead and place in a location of your choosing. And if you don't know, the fine house is right at the bottom there. It's at the bottom of your screen. Okay. And with that, you should be able to place it anywhere you would like. By the river, if you want a nice river view. It could be by the bridge if you would like, maybe close to one of the farms, or for some of you, maybe you want to be far away in a corner somewhere. But go ahead and click and drag that fine house to the place of your choice and your location. All right. As it turns out, you notice that there are sections of the river where the water flows quickly, and you have one of those aha moments. These locations, as it turns out, will be perfect for the new water-powered textile mills. You know, the type of water-powered mills that you use the flow of the water to go ahead and turn the wheels. And you've heard it from some of your investors at the stock market that you worked at previously. So you end up going back to those investors, and you convince those investors to go ahead and take a risk and build a water-powered mill, in this case here. Okay, so go ahead and place a water-powered mill anywhere in your city that, again, has to be adjoining a river. So it's got to be close to the river. Okay, so water-powered mill is on the right-hand side right here. Let's go and click and drag it somewhere near the river. So it's be on the river here somewhere on one side or the other. It is completely up to you where it might be. But again, this was the way you could actually get energy from, in this case, a renewable resource that was more or less consistent, and you can run it pretty much for any season to be able to have something that would, again, run these particular wheels, so that it will therefore run an engine inside and be able to do things like make cuts and all that sort of stuff here. Okay. So if you ever at any point need to catch up, on the left-hand side here, there's a sort of instruction of what you should have built. So if you kind of are a little bit behind and you need to catch up, the previous slide material is on the left side here. Okay, so it turns out your town is in perfect position for a water-powered mill. In fact, they could take more. Okay, so go ahead and add 2 more water-powered mills along the river with the appropriate infrastructure. Now you need to add some roads, okay, and particularly roads that lead out of the cities. So some sort of road that is going to allow you to go ahead and, in the end, move to one of the edges of the space that you have here. So draw a line out from those particular mills out to one of the edges of your particular pieces using that particular line tool. And just as a reminder, it might look something like this. So go up to the top there, and you've got this line tool right here. Click down, and then there's the line, and it should allow you to move from one place to the edge because you need a road from place to place. So go ahead and place that there along with some water-powered mills as well. So put some mills down in somewhere along the river. So again, it's up to you where you want to put these items. Okay. So go ahead and place that material down. Okay. Plus also, if I could add as well, 10 small houses for the mill workers to go ahead and share. So, hey, they need a place to stay. And 10 really tiny houses ought to do for these mill workers. Again, go and put them anywhere you would like. It can be close to the mill so that they are very close to home. It'll cut down on their commute and travel time. If you want to build some roads leading to them, that's up to you as well. You could, if you want to keep them really far away so that they're not making noise for each other, you can. Or if you want to, stack them all together real close so that all the workers, not just living together, but maybe working together in the same neighborhood, the same community. Hey, maybe that's really good for morale. But either way, go ahead and put 10 small houses for the mill workers to go ahead and share. Maybe they're on the same street, who knows? Okay, but either way, 10 small houses for them, some roads that are leading out from those water-powered mills to somewhere on the edge of your town borders as well. All right. Now that you've got that done, you've got a nice, burgeoning, growing town. Okay? And as a result of this, again, if you missed the previous slide, or you're still wondering what was you should have built, click on the left-hand side. Again, 2 water-powered mills and 10 small houses. Okay? But eventually, people are going to want more. And Christianity was the primary faith in England. So what you're going to do is you're going to go and add a church nearby for the workers and anyone else who would like to attend, all the farmers that are still there as well. So go ahead and find the church, which is on the right-hand side here, and go and place it anywhere in your town. So I'm going to click and drag that church on the right and move it wherever you would like to place it. If you want it to be a central part of your town, put it in the center. If you want it a little bit further out, it's up to you. On the main road, far in the corner, so that it's nice and peaceful. It is like a monastery, right? It's up to you in terms of how you want to do this. But either way, go ahead and place a church anywhere in the city. All right. So with that, your town continues to grow, and people realize, hey, you know what? We would like some stuff from outside of the town and cities. So you need a market of some sort. In this case, a small general store that will really fit the needs of your people. And so workers need to eat, they need to buy supplies. And so nothing's better than a store that carries a little bit of everything. Okay. So what you want to do is go and find a general store and put it on one of your roads, whether it's the main road or it's a road that you've added so far. So the general store is located on the right-hand side here. Okay. Go ahead and add a general store again on the road. And then once you have that, go ahead and make sure you connect the houses that you've already built with some roads as well. Okay, so that everybody's connected. They can find a way to work. They can find a way to get groceries or any other dry goods that they might need from this general store as well. So hey, you know, a sign of a growing town is when people want things and they can bring it to market. So go ahead and place a general store on the road and connect it with your houses as well. Looks like you've got a nice town burgeoning at this point here. All right. Hopefully you've got that general store laid down somewhere with some connected roads as well. But your town will continue to grow in this case here, and particularly sometimes it's things that are outside of your control. And particularly because the type of water mills that are powered by the new water frame that was created by the inventor Richard Arkwright, it proves to be immensely effective and immensely profitable as well. So with that, you now have stockholders who want to now be part of that particular process. So they want to live in your town, they want to see it out, they want to be aiding in the supervision and not only that, but the vision of where these mills are taking you and this particular town as well. So with that, go ahead and add 2 more fine homes for some of the stockholders of that mill. Now they'll probably want some sort of roads that will lead directly to their house, but again, 2 fine homes, which are again found at the bottom of your page there, and then click and drag them anywhere you would like. Now with these homes, hey, you know what? Maybe they should be your neighbors. Maybe you guys should set up a nice, fine neighborhood for yourself, you and the wealthy of the town, or you know, have your own land, have your own space. It's completely up to you. Maybe the view on the river Okay? But either way, add two fine homes for the stockholders of your mill. And again, do make sure you try to connect them when you get the chance with some roads here, because hey, you know, if you like the finer things in life, you want to be able to go from point A to point B as quickly as possible. So with that, add two fine homes for the particular stockholders of the mills. Okay, fantastic. Now that these guys are here, they see that this is a system that absolutely works. Okay, so go ahead and add two more water-powered mills, okay, into your town. So again, these have to be by the rivers. Again, the water-powered mills are on the right-hand side, okay, of the boundary, okay, and then from there, hey, you know, if you got two more water-powered mills, that means a whole lot more employees. Okay, so you're gonna have to add 10 more houses. Yes, that's right, 10 more houses. And don't forget to go ahead and add roads to connect your mills with the main road, because these guys need to find a way effectively to go from their homes to work as quickly as possible, because hey, now for the first time in history, people are on the clock. And really, if you think about it, in the farms, in the old days, or anytime you live in any agricultural settlement, hey, your day begins with sunrise and it ends with sunset, right? Or maybe earlier, depending on what you may actually have to do on the family farm, right? You determine that. And so in the winter time, there's less time to work. In the summertime, there's definitely a lot more, and particularly during harvest as well. But now, because we need to get everybody on the same page, and not only that, taking advantage of every hour, right? People for the first time are working on the clock. So they need to be from point A to point B as quickly as they possibly can and as effectively. So with that, once you've added two more water-powered mills, again, that must be on the river, and go and add 10 more houses. And that would be 5 for each of the mills, and making sure that the roads will take them to work on time. Because, hey, you don't want to get fired in your new job, right? So being here on time to work those, did I say 10 hours? Did I say 10? Maybe 12, 14? 14 plus hours. Hey, you got to work when the sun is shining, right? So either way, go and make sure you have 2 water-powered mills that are placed onto your map, and at least 10 more houses with roads that are adjoining to them. All right. Hope you've placed them in a nice spot. Maybe you've got a nice little industrial sector along the river so far, and those houses are connected. People have access to food in the general store, and hopefully things are looking good and looking well here. All right. Okay, so with that, that seems like some success. Okay? But again, nothing drives an industrial town. Nothing drives capitalism like some competition. Okay, so one store probably isn't enough. So go ahead on the right-hand side. You found it one time already. Is the general store. Okay, so what you're going to do is to go ahead and add a general store. But I would suggest that you place it. Okay, it's probably on the other side of town. Okay, and you probably don't want the general stores next to each other. That is, unless you really want them to. Okay, so you're going to put down a second general store, make sure that is connected to a road somewhere. And not only that, but the workers want a place to spend their free time, because hey, you know what, if you just spend 10, 12, 14 hours a day working the same old job, doing the same old thing over and over again, you may need some time to enjoy yourself, or drink your sorrows away. When I say drink your sorrows, I mean enjoy good times with friends. So go ahead and add a pub. A pub is at the bottom left corner of your, on the bottom left side here. So go ahead and place that anywhere, as long as it's accessible for all of your workers. So the mill workers want a place to spend some free time, so add a pub anywhere you'd like. Put it by one of the mills so that the workers have access to some time to relieve their pain a little bit, or to enjoy with friends, one or the other. But either way, you should at this point have a general store down, and probably also a pub as well. All right. So with that, hey, James Watt, if you heard that noise there, that was James Watt and his new steam engine. Now it gets real. That can, a steam engine that can be powered by fossil fuels. And if you remember the lecture, we talked about the Industrial Revolution. Really, the key difference with the Industrial Revolution than anything in the past is about power and energy, and where that energy comes from, and the find of using fossil fuels. It's coal now, it'll be oil and other things later, but either way, it's going to now allow for the creation of a new type of engine. Okay, and seeing the success of your water-powered mills, other entrepreneurs decide to propose a new coal-burning factory in the town. So a factory that burns coal, which is again different than the water-powered mills than before here. Okay, so with that, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and generate 2 textile mills. So textile mills are found in the top left-hand corner. Okay, so the top left-hand corner, go and take these 2 large buildings and go and place them, but at least at this point, you can place them anywhere you would like. You're not stuck by the rivers at this point. So go ahead and create for me 2 textile mills, places of your choosing. Okay, and they look large, all sorts of windows, but again, this is going to be the core of the new industrial revolution, the creation of clothing factories, okay, that in the end will clothe not just the English-speaking world, but it also will be exported all across the globe, okay, as well. Okay, so go ahead and put 2 textile mills, okay, in your city. So again, it's in the top left-hand corner, and go ahead and place that in. All right. So it turns out those coal-powered mills are bigger than the old water-powered mill, and guess what? Of course, will require many, many more workers to flock to your town. Okay, so what that means is an additional 10 more houses that you're going to have to lay down. Okay, and you'll need to also connect each house to a road as well. Okay, and you can go and bunch those up with all the other ones that you have previously. Maybe you should start a new neighborhood. Maybe the coal-powered mills will require a different type of worker somewhere else. But either way, go ahead and add in 10 more small houses somewhere into your town. And if you realize, you may at this point need to start compacting some of these together. Now, you can't destroy any of the stuff that you've put in before, but again, if you need to squeeze them in a little bit tighter, you definitely can, because hey, you know what? You know, it's just like in a lot of other places here. You've got some neighbors, but those neighbors happen to be really close to you. In some places, depending on the house that you live in right now, maybe almost an arm's length from your house to theirs. But either way, 10 small houses. So go and click and drag from the top right-hand corner, a set of small houses, and do connect them to a road if you possibly can. So 10 small houses where people will live in luxury. They'll have a place to live. How about that? Okay. Yeah, 10 small houses for them to live. And even if you really look at these houses that I've presented here, just the fact that there are windows there, that's got to be some sort of luxury. Windows, a fireplace, what do you know? Should be good for them, right? They've got work, they've got a place to stay. So living in your town, isn't bad at all, right? Not bad at all. They get work, and they get a nice place to stay. They've got great company, a church to go to, markets to purchase items. It's very different than the agricultural communities that they were living in, where they may not see people for days on end. Okay? But here, they get people all the time. So that's a real distinctive difference for them now as they move into these particular cities. All right, so hopefully you have 10 small houses that you've laid down, but you're a pro at this. You know exactly where to put them and put them down with speed here. Okay, so more stuff is going to happen. Obviously, your mills are producing so much that traditional wagons and horse-drawn carts cannot handle the amount of cloth that needs to be shipped to market, and also probably the amount of cotton that needs to be brought in order to make these clothes. So you seek new investors and find the capital necessary to construct a train station in this case. So you've got yourself a train station. Okay, so go ahead and find the rail station. And the rail station is right at the bottom as well. So if you go back to our image, so rail station right at the bottom right here. So you've got a train station, rail station there. And so what you're going to do is go ahead and place that somewhere. and you're going to go ahead and create a rail station and also a set of tracks as well. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and use it's the line tool, but it's right actually next to it. So you've got this particular tool. So here's your line tool. There's a one that is a border dash tool right here. So if you could click on that, you're going to find that there's a way to go ahead and do dashed lines here. Okay? So you're going to go ahead and use some form of dashed line. I chose this one here, but it's up to you, however you want to use to represent the rails. And go ahead and wherever you have clicked and drag your train station. So I'm going to go ahead and drag one out here to this location, and then click up top. There's the border dash there, and then from there, click on that, and you should be able to create. That would be the wrong tool. My apologies. So if you go to the line tool, excuse me, create a line first. And then you can go ahead and use the line dash here. And then you should be able to create that line that's there. So again, go to the line tool first, go and make a line, and then go ahead and once you have that object, it should give you the availability to go ahead and create that dash line here. So you want to make it even more pronounced. You can actually even thicken the line a little bit if you would like. Yeah, that's up to you. So it's line weight is right here. So you can find line weight. And there, I got a railroad. So your choice. And just as a reminder in terms of how that's done, let me go and do that one more time. Place your train station. Go to the line tool, and make a line to the end. And then if you want to thicken it, is this line weight right here. I'm going to make it 4, and then I'm going to go ahead and go to the line dash tool right next to it, and then go ahead and make some dashes. There you go. So you've got yourself a rail line. Okay. So with that, you should hopefully at this point have your train station. Again, this will become essential in order to bring goods out to market and also materials in as well. It's also going to help the rest of your town because it might end up bringing more stuff for them. So go ahead and create a rail station and a line of tracks as well. All right. So the rail line that's coming into your town is bringing in a large number of railway workers and staff and travelers as well, who probably need a temporary place to stay at night. So from there, go ahead and build an inn near your railway station. So the inn itself should be on the bottom right side here. So on the bottom right side, you've got the inn. Bottom right corner right here is the inn. Let's go and click and drag that and place it somewhere near your railway station because you don't want those guys walking too far away in order to reach their place for the night here. So go and place an inn near the railway station. And this is going to be essential because it's going to also encourage a lot of travelers, maybe other investors or other individuals who might actually be interested in your town to come and share in the goodness of your city as well. So from there, hopefully by now you've got a railway station, you've got tracks leading out of the city, and this beautiful inn. All right. Hey, do you realize that maybe some of those trees now are getting in the way? Well, hey, you know what? Go and chop them down here. So if you notice that there is on the top left-hand corner, there's a place to put deleted items. So I'm going to let you delete some items, including things like your trees, actually just your trees right now. So go ahead, and if there are trees in the way, go ahead and chop them down and go and put them in that box on the top left-hand corner. And, you know, is that farm in the way? You just figure that's just taking up way too much space here. Okay? So if that farm's in the way, go ahead and buy it out like the entrepreneur that you are and go and build over it with some of the other stuff that is to come. That'll clear the space that's necessary to make your town grow. So again, if you want to get rid of some trees and if you want to do that later when you feel like you need to, feel free to do so. If that farm's in the way, buy it out when you would like. Do it right now or do it later. It's completely up to you. But look, you want to make sure your city makes sense a little bit, right? So if you need to get those out of the way, this is the opportunity for you to do so. But we want to record what you've done. So if you are eliminating them, go ahead and click and drag them into the box. Don't just delete them. Click and drag them into the box there as a reminder of what you've done. I mean, as a reminder of your town's growth. All right. Thanks to that new rail line, your town is slowly becoming a small city. And you know what? New industries such as steel have been developed. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and add 2 factories. And yes, with these factories, you actually, if you look on the left-hand side, you've got a choice between 4 different models of factories. You can choose whichever one you would like just to make your city more unique as well. And so you've got 4 factories types that you can utilize, but either way, add 2 factories. They don't have to be attached to a river or anything. Place them wherever you would like. And not only that, alongside these factories, there are more and more workers, new workers. So what you need to do is you're going to build a 5 apartment style, what we call tenement buildings. Tenement buildings. These are buildings that are designed to squeeze in as many people as possible into one cheaply built structure in this case. So the 5 tenant buildings are right here on the right side, top right hand side under the small home. So go and click and drag 5 of these guys into your growing city here. Now these tenements, there are lots of different styles, but what develops particularly in the city of New York, it's what becomes known as the dumbbell tenement, because they kind of look like, and if you're looking at this, just to kind of get you a sense of how compact they are. Now, obviously, look at this if you have time and the opportunity to do so while you are obviously building your town. But if you do it quickly, you should be able to view the dumbbell tenement. You'll notice that many of these have usually small shops at the ground level and a door for everyone to kind of squeeze into in order to go upstairs. And so these are usually multi-level, and they are usually really tight and compact to one another. You'll notice that there isn't much space at all between the buildings as a whole. And not only that, but it is designed in a way where you can get some outside lighting, but it's not much. In fact, you've got this basically real small courtyard in the center and a hallway, and it leads to and if you look at the floor plan, it would actually look something like this here. Remember, I told you your bedroom is probably around 10 by 10. So you can imagine initially many of these dumbbell tenements, again, obviously it's called a dumbbell because it looks kind of like a dumbbell, like weightlifting dumbbell. But a family might live in these 3 compartments here. But eventually over time, as more and more immigrants would come, you actually have more and more people being squeezed in here. So you may have a full family of maybe 7, 8, 9, or an extended family living in maybe just this one singular room, right? Maybe one family will live here, another here, and another here. And so imagine squeezing into something the size of your bedroom, your entire family. And so you can imagine you probably didn't spend that much time in a place like this. But either way, these are the dumbbell tenements. So just to let you know what you're putting down in your city. But again, these are, you've got 5 factories and you've got 5 of these dumbbell tenements. And obviously with the increase in population, they will need a place to stay, to buy their food and spend their money on as well. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and build a large market in a place that is accessible to the workers. Hopefully you've got the hang of this. And so you can just put your market wherever you want. So the large market is down at the bottom there, and go and click and drag it to a location that is accessible to your workers, and do make sure that there are roads connected to your market. All right, so go ahead and click that market to a place of your choosing, and go ahead and also build some roads that make it so that they are accessible to others as well, because again, this will be the central place where they're going to buy maybe fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, because they're not growing in the city anymore. You got to import it, excuse me, from outside of your town. All right, so you got the large market. Make sure you do connect it with roads. Whew, that's a lot of building. You all getting stressed yet? Okay, so what I want you to do is go and add some building for some kind of entertainment. That might solve some of your issues, right? Okay, so go and add another pub. Again, the pub is at the bottom left-hand corner. Okay, so that the other side of town, again, go and put on the other side of the river from your other pub for your poor workers to drink away their sorrows. I mean, enjoy time and spending time with other people. The middle class, and yes, you do have middle class workers who are now in your city, and they are requesting a coffee house at the bottom right hand side. And what they want to do is get together, have some good times talking about the latest stock numbers and so forth. So a coffee house in the bottom right hand corner. And then the elites of the town demand a theater. Okay, I'll add one. Do make sure, however, it's far away from those rowdy pubs because yeah, you don't want those groups intermixing together here. So, and a pub, which is again on the bottom left-hand part of your town. So bottom left is the pub, and then you've got the coffee house and the theater. Again, there are two options for the theater. It's up to you, whichever one you want to put down. But the coffee house and the theater, and do make sure they are away from those pubs. You don't want those groups interacting with each other when they're not at work. All right, so you hopefully will have a pub, a coffee house, and a theater laid down, hopefully with some roads that will lead them all together, especially the pubs from the factories. Oh, of course it was going to happen. A lot of pubs mean a lot of drunken men, and a lot of inebriated and intoxicated people means fights. All right, I guess you need some police. You need a police station. And put it in a location where they can deal with these issues. The police station is found in the bottom left-hand corner right here, a police station, bottom left-hand side. Okay, so go ahead and place a police station in a location where they can deal with these issues. Like one pub or the other. Perhaps that's up to you, but with some police, maybe they'll bring some order to your town. Huh, all right, so you've put the police down, but they find that a lot of the fights and the theft that have been occurring in your town has been because of delinquent children wandering the streets. You know what? Delinquent children do not belong on the streets, nor they may not belong in the factories either, right? Where they might belong is some sort of school. So the citizens demand a school to instruct the children, right? So that they can learn to become good citizens, and not only become good citizens, but maybe make something of themselves. Instead of finding their time causing trouble in neighborhoods while everybody else is at work. So with that, the citizens demand a school, go and place the school in a place that is reasonable for a school to be at. Instruct the children, just like you are now. The legacy of the public school to come out of the Industrial Revolution starts at this time when people started realizing, you know what, all these kids in the city need a place to go. That would be good for them as well. So the schools came out of the Industrial Revolution as well. So hopefully you've got the schools. All right, it's discovered, as it turns out, that the gases that coal releases in the coke making process, so basically in the process of getting that coal to burn in an efficient manner, can be used to give light, and that's going to create the advent of gas powered lamps. Okay? And so what you're going to do is you're going to take these gas powered lamps, and you're going to find them on the bottom right hand side here, these gas lamps. There's a lot of them, so you can place them wherever you would like. But either way, go ahead and add 20 or more gas lamps all along your roadside so that people can travel during nighttime or wherever you would like. It's up to you. You could light up your own home if you would. But go ahead and add 20 gas lamps along your roads. If you ever watch movies, especially those that are set in the 19th century, they always have these scenes where like someone right at dusk is like opening lamp drawer, the lamp windows and actually having a light because there's a gas pipe underneath each lamp to actually basically set the fire in order to light up the lamps in nighttime, and then also someone to come out and to put out these lights as well. And so before the advent of electricity and the electric lamp, this was the way that many of these cities got lit. And so this is a huge sign of progress for your city to have this type of technology and to place it in your into your town. So great progress also for people to be able to interact at nighttime, to be able to work, to play, to gather together at nighttime. It's a really big thing. It changes the way humankind lives. Okay, so go ahead and add 20 gas lamps. Again, you can put them all along the same road. You can put them by the houses. It's up to you, wherever you'd like to put them. Go ahead and place them along your roads. So again, 20 or more gas lamps in the locations of your choosing, but particularly make sure your roads are lit. Fewer accidents, the better, right? All right, so you should have 20 gas lamps here. Okay, now that crime has been slightly reduced, more entrepreneurs see your town as a place to invest. Get ready for some growth here, because you're going to add 2 more factories and 8 more tenement buildings to your town. So you know where those factories are on the left-hand side there, and the tenements in the top right. Go ahead and add those factories. Again, you get to mix and match with your factories. So if you want to use the exact same one, feel free to do so. If you want to go ahead and use a different style of factory design, feel free to do so. But 2 more factories and 8 more tenements. But do make sure that there are roads to connect them to the rest of the city. And so eventually a lot of cities will start to, wherever they can place them, because they want to be able to attract this type of capital investment in their town, will basically start allowing for entrepreneurs to come in and start building them at pace. And so you actually have these industrial towns that are growing in large numbers. Cities like Manchester, Liverpool, which were small, in some cases seaside towns before, now all of a sudden, because their access to the ocean and their access to nearby coal mines, and also general nearby access to the new rail lines that were popping up as well, made them the perfect and prime locations. And so now you have cities that are growing because of their attachment to the Industrial Revolution. And in the United States, you are going to have cities like, for instance, Chicago, because of its location, that will make it a key cog in the American industrial process as well. So 2 more factories and 8 more tenements, and do make sure you have the roads to connect them. All right. Here we go. Again, you got 2 factories and 8 tenements. Your town getting a little cramped, maybe just a bit here. All the people living in such tightly packed communities has resulted, unfortunately, in the outbreak of a disease, cholera, as it turns out, which has, as it turns out, something to do with sewage in this case. But since you don't know what to do with that for now, go ahead and build a cemetery. The cemetery is at the bottom there, so go and find some space for your poor people who have passed away from this unfortunate disease, a place for them to rest. So go ahead and include now a cemetery. The outbreak, however, doesn't stop enterprising investors from building new factories for the budding new steel industry. Other options include shoes, ammunition, furniture, paper, machine tools. The industrial world sure absolutely has no limits whatsoever. And so you're going to go and add 3 more factories and 10 more tenement buildings to your town. Again, people realize that disease is just a part of life. It always has been. And so there are other things to build, and with the machines that are being generated and the specified machines, you can go ahead and make shoes. You can and really create even things like different sizes, so that you're not just making a shoe for just one person, right? Now you have all these size numbers, and you produce that and make people fit their feet into it, right? Ammunition, in larger numbers than ever before, especially as ammunition becomes more complex, as guns become rifled. You need a very particular type in order for guns to be shot accurately. Styles of furniture. Eventually the middle class will start to be able to buy furniture that isn't custom and uniquely designed, but it's affordable to them. Different types of paper, machine tools. Really, industrial world has very few limits here. So 3 more factories and 10 more tenement buildings. Now quickly put them in. That's quickly as you can, because there's more to come here. Hey, the factory owners in your city are getting quite rich, and they want to do their banking in town. And so if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, there is a place for a large bank. It's going to be the tallest building in your town, so put it in a really pronounced place. So place a bank in the city, and if you need to enhance your roads, because there's a new invention out there, it's called the horseless carriage. That's right, a carriage that can go by itself. Some are run by oil, some are run by electricity, but either way, thicken some of the roads using the border weight tool. So go and put a bank in, and maybe with some of your main roads here, go ahead and make it so that you can go ahead and thicken them. So if here's my road, I can just go ahead and click on that road. And once you've clicked on it, go ahead and you can add the line weight. These look like roads that a car can drive on. All right, so go ahead and add and thicken some roads here. So place a bank in and go ahead and thicken some of the roads that are there. Oh no! Oh, sorry to interrupt. You're working. My apologies. Okay. But one of the gas-powered lamps has caught fire and spread to nearby buildings. The volunteers are overwhelmed, and so it used to be what we call a bucket brigade, right? And so instead of a bucket brigade, you're going to get the chance to build a fire station. So prevent another fire just like that. The fire station in the bottom left-hand corner here. Go ahead and put in a fire station, and not only that, but several of the small homes have been burned. Oh, sad. Go ahead and delete 6 of your small homes, and then go and replace them with the ubiquitous, it's everywhere, 2 more tenement buildings. So quickly build a fire station and add 2 more tenement buildings to your town. But after being able to delete 6 of those small houses. So delete 6 of those small houses, add 2 more tenement buildings. Now, if you're wondering why a fire station is necessary, well, you got to house those wagons that will carry enough water to put out a fire. In the old days, there was hope you're by a river and then have everyone line up with buckets, and you just start passing buckets of water from the river to the fire. You can imagine if you can't prevent that fire from spreading quickly, you're in a whole lot of trouble. So that fire station may help you deal with that damage as quickly as possible. So a fire station, delete 6 houses and then 2 more tenement buildings. All right. Hey, your town is getting real popular, and people need to get fed. So what you're going to add now is a meat packing slaughterhouse. Oh, doesn't that sound delicious and yummy? All right, so the meat packing slaughterhouse is found at the bottom left-hand side here. There's the meat packing slaughterhouse. And so you want to make sure that not only because really the way it works is that animals usually arrive by railway track. So from wherever they're coming from, they're put onto train cars, and then they're going to go ahead and be shipped to the meat packing slaughterhouse. And then from there, basically, will remain for a short amount of time before they are sliced and diced into the meat that we all consume. Okay, so what you want to do is to go ahead and add a railroad track that directly leads to the meat packing plant, because you really don't want all these animals being herded in slowly across your town. Okay, so a quick train ride in and process as quickly as possible, and next thing you know, you've got some meat, hamburgers and hot dogs. Here we go. But either way, go ahead and place a meat packing slaughterhouse and make sure you add a railroad track if necessary. If you've already gone and put it by your railroad track, fantastic. If not, add a railroad track directly leading to that meat packing plant. And from there, we've got meat for everybody. Hallelujah. Whew, people must like your town. They must like meat. Maybe that's why. Okay, so go ahead and add another factory and 3 more tenement buildings. Okay, another factory, one of your choosing, and 3 more tenement buildings. Okay, not only that, but again, more people also means that people are suffering from the appalling conditions inside the factories, which we're not going to talk about here, but you saw quite a bit in our previous lesson. Okay, so we need a hospital. So let's go ahead and help those people out. Okay, I'm going to build a hospital. The hospitals are on the top left-hand corner. right by the deleted items and under the textile mill, and go and place that wherever you would like. But again, another factory, and 3 more tenement buildings. Just go and squeeze them in wherever you can. If things are feeling real compact and tight, well, that's just the way it is. So go ahead and another factory, 3 tenements, and a hospital, which is on the top left-hand side here. Hey, whew, you know what? That original bridge can't support all the traffic that now exists in your town. Okay, but with the might of industry and the achievement of making steel and concrete and putting it all together, you can build a modern bridge. Okay? And so replace that central bridge at the middle of your map, that old bridge from the medieval era. Time to get rid of that, and put in a modern bridge, and feel free to add as many of them as you would like across the river, especially where you might think is necessary. The bridge is on the top right hand side there. There's the modern bridge. Go and add it and replace this one, but go and add in any others that you would like, in and across the river, so that there's multiple points where your city now connects. All right. So your small little town, the one that you grew up in, you have now taken it in a new direction and created this, a massive city. Okay. How's the town look like? Does it look something like, well, this image here, where all of a sudden very little comes to a lot very, very quickly. All right. So what I'm gonna have you guys do is this. Go ahead. We're gonna wrap up this now. And so what I'm gonna have you guys do is to go ahead and first of all, go around, and in a moment I'm gonna ask you to go and share your picture with someone else. So just turn your screen over and check out what they have, check out what you have, and spend about a minute or two doing this. And then after you do so, in the next assignment, in the Google document that is a part of this assignment here, there are 3 reflection questions to go ahead and answer. So after you've kind of, taken a look at what other people have done with their towns, just to make a comparison, go ahead and answer these questions here, and then from there, complete what is assigned for the burgeoning Burgh assignment.